Now, the one thing that you really have to talk about is that there is absolutely no stretch of schedule where you say, they should win that. Because let's look across town at the Mets. The Mets just got through a stretch of schedule, 12 games, that they should just have wiped up with. And they won 6 and they lost 6.
Yep.
And now they start the hard portion of their schedule, Orioles. And then they go on the West Coast against the Diamondbacks and the Padres. This is their season right now in this next week and a half.
Well, but then you came back from the West Coast trip because I guess you could forgive. All right, well, the Angels, you dropped 2 out of 3 to them, but at least you were at their field, and you didn't have the road trip you were hoping for. But all I kept hearing from Met fans, myself included, well, you got the A's and the Marlins. And you went, just like the Yankees, you went 3-3. Dropped 2 out of 3 to Oakland, and then you lost. You should have swept the series yesterday. Didn't do it because now all of a sudden you can't hit the ball. And you talk about soft contact, Michael. Did you see that the Marlins came back and won the game? I don't think a ball left the infield. But when you have a pitcher walk 4 guys, and the Marlins got picked off 3 times and still found ways to score.
Yeah.
Without a big, huge hit, but the soft contact, what you're talking about with Holmes, all you'd have to do is put the ball in play, and things happen. And that's what happened for the Marlins yesterday. And so the Mets, instead of getting a sweep and 4-2 on that homestand, now you go 3-3, and it just doesn't feel great. And now you got one of the best teams in baseball coming in.
And then you look, you got 3 against the Orioles, 4 against the Padres, day off, 3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks, and you say, and then there's a little bit of a respite. They have 3 against the White Sox. Pump the brakes, Sal. It might not be a respite. Yankees lost again to the White Sox. Mets good, too.
I just say you just lost 2 out of 3 to the A's.
Yeah.
In those Marlin games, it wasn't like you thumped them, right? You had Severino, which was great. The first complete game the Mets have had in 3 years.
It's unbelievable.
And now, I was thinking of you because there were moments where Mendoza kind of looked like Collins in the 2013 World Series. It's like, do I want to bring him out there? Then he hits the first batter. But he let him go through there, and what did it end up being, like 108? It was 108.
Well, it was about 100, over 110.
Yeah, it was, but it wasn't obnoxious. But he got that. But that was a 1-0 game.
Mm-hmm.
You won the 7-3 game, and then you lose. So you're nail biting even the games that you win because still collectively they got Marte back yesterday, but it's not like they're really thumping the ball at all.
It does tell, and then we're waiting on Nimmo's MRI on the shoulder,
which
on the
doesn't
diving
look
play.
good.
No, it didn't look good at all.
Good.
Here's the thing that gets me: how baseball has changed. So Severino pitches a complete game shutout. That is now met with the same kind of celebration as a no-hitter.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah. I mean, I was thrilled for the guy, and it was a complete game. Tom Seaver would say, hold my beer. He had like 25 of them a year.
Well, Gooden had 16 in 85.
Yeah.
Yes, but it was the first Met one since DeGrom in 21, I think it was. Ridiculous. But you know what? It did have that feel, Michael. Like, if you walked in not having watched the game, didn't look at the bug or whatever, and you would think the way that 9th inning was called, I'm not getting on Gary because it was exciting.
Yeah.
That he was calling a no-hitter.
I agree. There was that same sort of tension.
Because that's kind of what a complete game is now around here.
1-800-919-3776. Remember, we have the New York Times best-selling author.
That's right.
Ian O'Connor is in the building already because he's always on.
He's already here?
He's already here.
Oh, God.
He's
always
on
on
4
his
o'clock spot.
Individual.
Because what would happen if he was you and said, okay, I'll get there at like 3:59 and then runs into some traffic?
He couldn't. He's a professional.
Right. You would do that.
Yeah, I would just